Now the next topic is density, its unit and dimension formula. So how can we define density, what it units, and how can we define the dimension formula for density. So first of all, let us define density. Generally it is denoted by symbol rho. Generally it is denoted by symbol rho, and its definition is mass per unit volume, mass per unit volume of body is called density. So rho, which is equal to mass, which is defined by symbol m, divided by volume, which is defined by symbol v. So in terms of equation, rho, which is equal to m by v, right? So this is the formula for density. Now we know density is scalar quantity. Density is scalar quantity, right? And its SI unit is kilogram per meter cube. For mass it is kilogram, and for volume it is meter cube, right? This is the SI unit of density. And CGS unit will be very simple, gram per centimeter cube. This is the SI unit and CGS unit. And at last, dimension formula. Dimension formula for density is m1 L minus 3, because here we have only mass and volume. That's why the dimension formula is m1 L minus 3 T0, right? So this is the dimension formula for density. Now the next is, what do you mean by specific density or relative density of substance? So specific density is given by the ratio of density of substance to density of water at 4 degree temperature. This is the definition for specific density. So here I am writing the specific density or relative density, whatever you want to write, relative density of a substance is the ratio of its density to the density of water at 4 degree centigrade. So the relative density equal to the density of substance divided by density of water at 4 degree centigrade temperature. So ultimately the specific density or relative density It is the density of a substance with respect to density of water at 4 degree temperature. Keep in mind. Let's take one example. We know the density of aluminium. We know the density of aluminium is 2.7 into 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube, right? And density of water at 4 degree temperature or 4 degree centigrade temperature is 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube. So in this case we can write the relative density. So relative density of aluminium, relative density of aluminium, here the density of substance, which is the 2.7 into 10 raised to 3, and in denominator density of water at 4 degree temperature, which is 10 raised to 3 kilogram per meter cube. So in denominator we have 10 raised to 3. So here 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 3 cancel out. So ultimately the relative density, or you can say the specific density of aluminium is 2.7. Keep in mind the specific density or relative density, which is the density of a substance with reference to density of water at 4 degree centigrade temperature, right? So this is the concept of density and specific density. Now the next is very important theory, which is Pascal law, right? State and explain Pascal's law. So first of all I will write the statement and then we will prove the Pascal law. So what is statement? The statement of Pascal law is the pressure in a fluid, the pressure in a fluid at rest is same at all points, same at all points. So this is the statement of Pascal law. The pressure in a fluid at rest is same at all points, right? Now let's prove the Pascal law. Now for proving the Pascal law, here we have considered the figure, right? What we have? We have one container which is filled with a liquid, right? And now we have to consider the element in liquid. So here we have considered the element ABC and DEF. Here we can see this A, B, C and D, E, F. This is the element, interior element of fluid. Is the ABC and DEF is the interior elements of fluid, right? Now here we can see this element forms the right angle triangle, right? Like prism. This element create the right angle prism, right? A, B, C, you can see the DEF that forms the right angle prism. One more thing, here this element is very small. That element that we have considered over here is very small, but for sake of clarity here we have enlarged this element. Keep in mind, right? So if this element is so small, so it means it have the very small amount of weight, and due to that we can also ignore the effect of gravity, right? So I am writing over here, this element is in form of right angle prism, right angled prism, and here the element is so small that the effect of gravity can be ignored, right? But for sake of clarity, that it has been enlarged, right? For sake of clarity, here the element is enlarged, right? So now let us prove the Pascal law. What we have? So here we have the surface, different surface, right? Surface ADFC, yes, here it is, surface A, D, F and C. Now second surface is surface BEFC, surface BEFC, right? So here it is BEFC, right? And the last one, which is the surface ABED, surface ABED, right? Surface, here it is A, B, E and D, right? This one. So here in case of surface ADFC, yes, in case of surface ADFC, we can see the area is AB, right? Here we can draw area AB, right? And the force is FB. Here we can see the force is FB, which is normal to the area surface, right? And ultimately the pressure will be PB. In similar case, the surface BEFC, here it is BEFC, here the force is FA, but before that what we have? Area AA. Similarly force is FA and pressure is PA. And the last one is the surface ABED, and for surface ABED it's very simple. From the figure, the area is AC, then force is denoted as FC, and ultimately from the area and force we can able to find the pressure, which is PC, right? Now here we can see from the triangle what we have. Yes, here it is. Here this is the force FA, this is force FB, and this is force FC, which is the right angle to the particular surface area that we can see, right? And here if we consider the force FB, then it has two components. Suppose this will be the angle theta, then we have two components, FB cos theta and FB sin theta, right? And in similar way, if we have considered the area vector like this. This is area AB. Then if this angle is theta, then this will be our AB cos theta, and this will be our AB sin theta. If we have considered this angle as a theta, so this component becomes cos theta and this component becomes sin theta. Keep in mind. Right. Now we can write the equation for different surfaces. Right. So here we have FA. If we want to write the equation for FA, here it is. Here the force is Fa, that we can see. Here the force is Fa, and in similar way the this component of force that we have drawn here, which is FB cos theta. So Fa, and here for equilibrium position, this force component and here this force, both the force are in opposite direction and that must have the same value. Right. So from this we can write Fa equal to what? This component, and this component is FB cos theta. So Fa equal to what? FB cos theta. Right. For equilibrium position. Now similar way, if I want to write the equation for area AA, right. So here we can see this is force Fa, and similar way this area is, this is the area vector AA, or in similar way here we have the component of cos, right, over here. So this will be the component of AB cos theta. So ultimately AA equal to AB cos theta from the geometry. Similarly FC equal to what? Here we can see this is force FC, right, and FC equal to FB sin theta. Very simple, right. This component we have to consider, and this is FC in this direction, and we have the component of force which must be in opposite direction of FC, which is FB sin theta, right. And similarly for area AC, right, here it is, we have this is area AC, and for that the component is AB sin theta. So this is the very important equation that we have derived from this triangle, right. Now let's write the equation for pressure, right. So what will be the equation for pressure? Equation for pressures, the pressures on the rectangular surfaces is, so first of all we will write the equation for PB. So PB, pressure is nothing but it is the force per unit area. So force is FB and area is AB for particular surface, right. This is the equation for PB. Now let's write the equation for PA. So PA, which is equal to FA by AA, right. And from this equation we have equation for FA as well as we have the equation for AA. So FA, which is equal to FB cos theta, and AA, which is equal to AB cos theta. So cos cancel out. So ultimately we have the equation of PA, which is equal to FB by AB, right. Let's consider this equation, denote this equation as 1, this equation as 2, number 2. Now similarly let's write the equation for PC. So for PC, which is equal to FC by AC, right. And we have the equation for FC and AC. Put this equation over here. So FC equal to FB sin theta divided by AC, which is equal to what? AB sin theta. So sin theta cancel out. So ultimately we will get FB by AB, and this is the equation number 3. So from equation 1, 2 and 3 we can write what? Here the equation for PB, which is equal to FB by AB, equation for PA, which is also FB by AB, and equation for PC, which is again FB by AB. So from the equation 1, 2 and 3 we can write this pressure PA equal to PB equal to PC, right? That means the pressure at all the points. Let's see the statement. The pressure in a fluid at rest is same at all points, and here we have considered the different points like right angle prism, and here we have derived the pressure at point A equal to pressure at point B and pressure at point C, right? So this is the proof of Pascal's law, right? This is very important theory for your exam point of view, right? So this is the proof of Pascal law.